Hello, gamers. Hello. Happy Sunday. Happy rare Sunday stream. Let me go over to game screen. Yippee! The game is not set up. Oh shit. Alright, cool. Not Never 7. It's 428 Shibuya Scramble. Yippee! Okay, cool. Now it's set. Hello, Black Blue. I hope you are doing well on this rare Sunday stream. And also hello to anyone else. I am here back with some more 428 Shibuya Scramble. Before I begin the game, there is one thing that there's a couple things that I want to go into before we actually start playing today. First off, as you were probably aware if you're keeping up with the schedule, I am a little, maybe I wasn't consistent with the schedule this week, as things happen. The reason for that, just to kind of go, like, very briefly into it, and not, like, too specific, but, there's the dog. There's the dog. The dog said no, you don't get an explanation. What are you talking about? Alright, hold on. Hold on. Alright, cool. Alright, neat and awesome. I'm doing good. Hope your week's been well. Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of my week as well. Also, I guess now's as good a time as any. There we go. Doggo. She was big angry. So for me, obviously I had surgery earlier in the week, earlier in the month, or year even. Year. What is time? What is time? And so it should come as no shock that I'm not necessarily, like, I'm a little bit sick. And so for this week, what ended up happening is that I kind of had, like, a bit of a flare-up, so to speak. And that kind of pushed, it kind of pushed things in my schedule around, because I was, like, not able to do what I wanted to do. So that's kind of the explanation for this week, and why streams have just been like, oh, I have to move this to here, or I have to cancel this, and, stuff like that. It's just because, like, once I do get better, I have to work. I have to work, and do stuff. And so, yeah, I just wanted to, like, provide the clarification, so to speak, and sort of thank anyone for their patience regarding it. Because, now my voice is gonna die. Okay, cool. It's gonna be one of those streams. Alright, cool, neat. Oh no, sorry to hear. No, it's okay, it's more so just to provide an explanation. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened this week, and thank you for sort of sticking through it with me. I'm sorry about that. I will try next week to make up for it, because there's just been... Have I streamed this week? I streamed once, right? I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did anymore. But I got some good work done, and that's cool. That's neat. That's awesome. And that's kind of the explanation for things. Let me also... I wanted to add a... image? What is the image? Where did I put the image? It's here. Oh shit. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, cool. This time. Yippee. Cute. Yeah. So I got back. I kind of commissioned things a little bit earlier in anticipation for reaching affiliate, and I was like, maybe I should just have them on hand for whenever we reach it. And those commissions ended up being finished a lot more quickly than I thought they were going to be. So here are the base emotes that we're gonna get. As you can see, it's the wave emote, the laugh emote, the Angie emote, so like the blushy crushy emote. I really like this one. I thought this one came out really, really good. The lurk emotes, and of course the cry emote, as well as the special doggo emotes, which has been done by Frog Shop. I think that one's gonna stay. That one's gonna stay like how do you say, like, anyone can use that. Anyone can use that one. And we have finally the special delivery emotes, which is kind of what I'm thinking will be used for raids and stuff like that. So that's the only one with my face on it. But yippee, hooray, huzzah. And as you can see as well, there are some Twitch sub badges as well. I think these came out looking really cute and really neat. I'm gonna be honest, as a fellow viewer of Twitch, I'm not someone who pays too much attention to sub badges, but I did my best. I think they came out looking really good, regardless. So yeah, I just kind of want to show that off. Obviously, they can't be used right now, but in the future, sometime they will be able to be used. So yeah, yippee! All right, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of it. The tsundere emote. Yeah, soon. Very, very soon. Very, very soon. So, and I think with that is all of the announcements, I guess, that I had in mind. So, yippee, wahoo, huzzah. Let's tab back into the game. Last time, I don't know what happened last time. I don't remember. Minorikawa got a to be continued. Good for him, honestly. What happened? Oh, right. We're all going out to finish the final delivery because this guy showed up. He's super suspicious, and he was like, hello, I don't know if you know this, but your deadline is approaching. We found out Tanaka is dead and not, Toyama. And anything else? Oh, right. Okay, I kind of remember now. We're confronting Ashi's dad. We gotta keep out here as well. What's going on here? Oh yeah, they're just kind of watching the scene play out. Osawa gotta keep out after talking to his wife. This scene was very, very good. I think that all the best scenes kind of happen in Osawa's route, to be quite honest. I don't know if he's my favorite character, so to speak, but he does get all the best scenes. They are really, really good. For someone who doesn't leave his house ever. Like, they're all just kind of confined to this one space, which I find really, really interesting. So, yeah, Maria is still done. Right. Okay, so we're looking for a jump to somehow get to either Achi or Osawa, I think, is what's going on. And we're missing that jump. So I'm thinking that it probably lies in Minorikawa's route. There was a jump here. Can I use the same jump? Because we used one already. I don't know if we can use the same jump to jump back to Kenji Osawa. Let me try. Kenji Osawa? Can I? Oh. The game said, no, what are you talking about? Don't be stupid. Alright, cool. Alright, let me out of here. Let me out of here. I'm sorry. I thought that would work. Okay, cool. So, I think I have to make a different choice in Minorikawa's story in order to continue. Let's see. What is this time block? Hold on. No. This is... The whole thing is 1700. It doesn't start here. So it starts here. We start here on the dot. Okay. I guess let's just go back and make different choices until something happens. What'll it be? Look faster! Maybe he could butter the guy up. Say, you look like a pretty tough guy. You work out? Segawa grinned, thrusting his fist out in an empathetic air punch. I used to be a boxer. Back in his boxing days, Sagawa was so tough, people called him the dogfighter of Shibuya. One day, however, as he was walking along, he happened to step onto a strange panel that made him fall into a state of confusion and go on a rampage. He was quickly arrested, and his boxing license was revoked. The mysterious panel was Sagawa stepped on. They say there are also panels shaped like feet, and also even panels shaped like rice balls. What is this a reference to? What is this? Chunsoft, please explain. I have not played all of your games. I just don't know. I could drop a guy like you in one punch. Oh ho. Guess there aren't many folks who can give you a good fight then. Sagawa dropped into a fighting pose and threw a few quick jabs. Okay. Well, matter of fact, I'm unbeatable in a street fight. They call me the Crazy Tiger Shibuya. Shibuya, huh? You familiar with SOS then? All of this sounds pretty. I think we've done this before. No jump to Achi though. Can I continue forward? Yes, I can. Well, in that case, let's get out of here. It did save the choice, right? Yes, it did. In that case, let's make another choice. Sagata? Sanshiro, maybe? Hold on. Hold on. I can look this up. Google, my best friend, my best buddy. Sagata Sanshiro. Ah, okay. Sega Saturn. Look at that. Well, today I learned. It's probably a reference. Yeah, I could imagine it being a reference to this. Huh. Well, alrighty then. He's essentially the Japanese version of Chuck Norris. of Chuck Norris. Okay, I see. Huh. Interesting. Well, it probably is a reference to that then. Like they say he can do almost anything. Yeah, that sort of thing. Okay. But where? Minorikawa thought. The familiar station was a natural choice. Toyama should decide. Calling the noodle house, he opted for that. I don't know. Recalling the noodle house from the menu he'd seen earlier, he opted for that. Doganut, huh? Or Doganut, huh? Toyama rumbled the words under his breath. What's the matter? Is there a problem with that? No. Alright, I'll meet you there. It's over in Dogenzaka. The address is on the menu. He hung up and Minorikawa quickly gathered his belongings. I think this is gonna lead to a bad end, but maybe not. Alright, bring your computer. Can I... What? Summary! What are you talking about? Okay, this is a new timeline. I cannot skip through this. Minorikawa waited as Chiaki got ready to head to the cafe. As the two were heading out of the office, however... Someone else opened the door. Who could it be? What cafe? We weren't talking about a cafe. We were talking about a noodle house. Okay. This is all the same. This is all the same. Oh, well, never mind. I'm a liar. Here. Maybe they serve noodles at the cafe. I guess they do then. What? Why? What? Why? We're gonna finish up our copy on site and then burn the data onto CD and hand it over to you there. That's why. Katayama let out a sigh of resignation. Oh, very well. I suppose I'd simply be waiting here anyway. Minorikawa pumped his fist in victory. Alright, Chiaki. Go and copy the DTP data we've got so far onto your computer. Sure thing, Mr. Reno. Chiaki quickly set about doing that thing that she needed to do, and they headed to the noodle house where Toyama would be waiting. The noodle house? We haven't seen a noodle house, so I assumed it would just end in a bad end. Soba Restaurant Doganut. Unless we have, and I'm forgetting. Oh shoot. A long-standing noodle shop in Dogenzaka. 2 years ago, the owner passed away from illness. Oh. Okay, okay. This was the place that Achi and the other Hitomi, Hitomi, uh, they were there earlier. Okay, so they do have a set piece for this. In that case, yeah, we can go there. Um, Now the restaurant is run by his widow Maki Yoneda, and her parents are two part-timers, Masa, and her two part-timers even reading Masa from Midoriyama Academy and Mi Mohinder, an Indian exchange student. Despite the sign billing the establishments as a soba restaurant, duck meat soba and chilled curry soba are the only two actual soba offerings. The rest from the menu, for some reason, are all udon dishes. And in fact, both kinds of soba are terrible, though maybe the chilled curry soba would be okay if someone else were making it, if someone else who didn't skip today. Because there was that one guy who skipped, and they also showed up in Achi's room. So, oh, yeah, I remember that place. Yeah, it was so long ago. Oh man, the soba. Yeah, inside they encountered the proprietress near the door. She held a massive cleaver for cutting soba noodles, clutched in one hand. Toyama wasn't there. Excuse me, Minorikawa said. Has a middle-aged man come by your shop? Name's Toyama. What the hell? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. You know what would be really interesting? If you could get bad ends, but like you could make jumps from bad ends to correct ones. So like I take this bad end and I jump to here, even though it's not canonical. And then I have to go back and get the correct one. If that makes sense. That would be a very wild use of game mechanics. If you somehow have to get a keep out from a bad end. Or rather, a jump from a bad end. So. Anyway, back to dying. The proprietress let out a weary sigh. That guy, huh? You folks know him. Yes, that's right. Then I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to do this. It was all his fault, though. You reap what you sow. Minorikawa didn't know what she was going on about, but suddenly he had a very bad feeling. We're all about the demon died today. So then Toyama was here? He asked cautiously. Yes, he came by. Well, where is he now? Please tell me. No, I have no obligation to tell anything to friends of Toyama's. Now that I think about it, I do remember this woman's face actually being shown, like during the trailer, the preview trailer for this time block. So, yeah, Evidently, there was some bad blood between Toyama and this woman. The real victim here is me. Her voice rose to an abrupt roar. Now listen up good to this old woman's story. We don't have time for this. I don't have time for this, Minorikawa thought. We need to find Toyama as soon as possible. But instead, it looked like he'd be stuck hearing this angry woman's story first. All right, we're listening. Tell us your story. It's a long one. The woman's mouth twisted up and she licked her lips, leaning in to tell her tale. Long, long ago, when I was still in my 20s, I would often make deliveries to Heaven Publishing. They were some of my best customers. Back then, we were so busy my employees practically worked themselves to death. You see, Dogen Hut had the finest soba in Japan, and our spokesmodel was considered one of the most beautiful girls in the world. Back when this woman was in her 20s, Heaven Publishing hadn't even existed yet. But, oh, sorry, this is narration. Oh boy, back when this woman was in her 20s, Heaven Publishing hadn't even existed yet, but Minorikawa figured he better not correct her. That would probably just piss her off and make her stop entirely. He kept his mouth shut and listened to her silly tale. But anyway, that's all in the past now. As time went on, we had a lot of delivery customers asking us to put bills on their tab. So much so that it became a problem, and we changed our policy to disallow that sort of thing. I love the reflection on the knife. It is pretty good. But the fine folks of Heaven Publishing considered themselves an exception to that rule. And that put my part-timer Masa, who does the deliveries, in a bit of a bind. Okay. Oh, Masa is a student at Midoriyama Academy. Yeah, Masa is the one who showed up earlier. What is all this dialogue? A first-year student at Midoriyama Academy, after getting indigestion from eating too much parfait at a fast food restaurant on Center Guy, he was there with his girlfriend to do a dry run for a competition eating contest. He wound up going to the restaurant 14 times and the restroom even 14 times in 1 hour. Ugh. Unable to stand idly by, his girlfriend called an acquaintance of hers, the gluttonous Chiriko. Chiriko! Yeah, Chiri! Oh my god, I read the name and I was like, who the fuck is Chiriko? Yeah, Chiri! Osugi for advice on improving Masa's intestinal fortitude. It turns out, however, that Chiriko was planning to compete in the same contest. Knowing that they would end up against some monumental competition, the two continued their training, wary of the battle to come. He took the day off to go on a date with his girlfriend. I hear they're planning to compete as a couple in some ice cream eating contest that's going to air on TV. So they were going to a practice run together today. Honestly, how ridiculous is that? Honestly, I couldn't care less about Masa one way or another, Minorikawa thought. This whole experience was turning into a real ordeal. So yes, we were in a real bind. I run a restaurant here, not a charity operation. I'd call and ask them to settle up, but they'd always insist, "Oh, we don't have any money." And that's a lie. It's gotta be a lie. What else could it be? Otherwise, could they keep making that magazine of theirs? How could they keep making that magazine of theirs? That Celebrity Confidential or whatever the hell it is. Celebrity Confidential was a weekly tabloid put on by one of Heaven Publishing's competitors. Minorikawa was just going to have to let that egregious mix-up slide. I mean, you couldn't interrupt her and be like, "Hey, that actually isn't Heaven Publishing." And that's not all. The proprietress spat. Oh no, on top of that, their magazine's little gourmet gabs corner, or whatever they call it, ran a scathing review of us. After that, customers started keeping their distance, and I aged 20 years practically overnight. Gourmet Gabs was a column that ran in Celebrity Confidential. There was nothing of the sort in 4-Star General Gossip. This woman clearly had gotten the two magazines mixed up somehow. Awful. Just awful, isn't it? All I wanted to do was make soba for people to enjoy. And so to be treated like this. To be treated like this. The woman had started to sob. The cleaver had begun to waver in her trembling hand. But then, earlier today, these two Yakuza-looking fellows came by. Said they were looking for Toyama from Heaven Publishing. Guess they saw one of our menus at his office and figured he might have come by. She had to be talking about Ozu and Sagawa. They'd both been nearby when Minorikawa was rooting through the desk drawers. They must have spotted the menu then. I told them he wasn't here and hadn't ordered delivery in some time. So they said that if I happened to see him, give them a call. Now, I was just going to turn them away. They look like a pair of nasty loan sharks. Toyama would never be able to pay off his dab if they caught him. And so, I told him as much. The proprietress lowered her voice before continuing. But they said they'd be most appreciative if I could let them know. Even offered to pay his tab for me if I did. And well, that pretty much settled it. So I let them give me their phone number. Oh, okay, so this is a bad end. Oopsie daisy. Well, he's dead. Oh well. Minorikawa's face went pale. This lady had been bribed by those two thugs? And so, I guess you figured it out. A little earlier, Toyama dropped by, looking like he was trying to lie low. So it all came together. I snuck out back and gave those two a call. And so here we are. You guys are just a hair too late. Oh, crap. Toyama had been carted off by the moneylenders. Minorikawa had to find him right away. Mr. Reno, Chiaki squeaked nervously. We have to hurry and go look for him. Yeah. Minorikawa and the others headed for the door. Oh, is, Katayama still there? I guess so. Wait. The voice sounded as if it had echoed from the very depths of hell. Minorikawa and company stopped in their tracks. You think I can just let you go? Katayama, are you seeing this right now? Or are you just gonna walk away? The old woman began to stalk towards them. Those guys. They left without showing their appreciation or paying off that tab. They lied to me. And so just who's going to show the appreciation I'm owed? Who's going to pay that tab? Is she a demon? Well, maybe. At this point, anything is possible. In Shibuya, anything is possible. Who's going to pay that tab? You're all in this together, trying to play me for a fool. But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The proprietress lifted her cleaver high. Her eyes smolder even, with inhumane rage. A murderous aura surrounded her like a bonfire wind. Oh, wait! Minorikawa cried. We're Toyama's... His friends? Then prepare yourselves. You'll repay his debt to me with your lives. The three companions stood paralyzed with horror, watching their bloody doom approach. The blade glimmered with the dimness as she swung it toward Minorikawa. Time for some fresh meat. Okay. What? Minorikawa, Chiaki, and Katayama screamed, their cries echoing clear across Dogenzaka. Okay. Okay, yeah. Tragedy at the Noodle House. I didn't get anything from that. God damn it. Now that was certainly a bad end. It really was. And Katayama even got caught up in it. It's like, yeah, I wasn't expecting him. I thought he was just gonna walk out the door. It's like, I have nothing to do with this. Whatever. I feel bad for Chiaki, but oh well. It was no ordinary grudge that the proprietress of Dogen Hut held toward Toyama, as Minorikawa and the others found out firsthand, falling victim to her mighty cleaver. Yeah, that isn't the right place to have a meet-up with Toyama. Seriously, who the heck had decided this was a good idea? Well, game, listen, I need to view all the bad ends in the 1700 time block. Oh, I got an achievement for that. Look at that. That's amazing. Anyway, let's go back and do the correct thing. Just give it a... This isn't where I was. Hold on. Hold on. Where should we meet? But where? I guess I'll let him choose if he wants. Nothing suitable came to mind. Probably Toyama should decide. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go let the dog back into the room. All right, cool. Got any suggestions? Minorikawa said. Let's see. There's a bar in Daikanyama I stop by a lot. How about there? What the hell? A very fashionable yet relaxed neighborhood in Shibuya. High-end boutiques, high-end restaurants, high-end confectionery shops, high-end cafes, high-end interior design stores, and high-end residential houses all line the streets. A settlement dating back to 2,000 years to the Yayoi period has been excavated in Daikanyama, but it cannot be said for sure whether its dwelling were high-end for the time. Okay. My thing is that there was a whole video of Minorikawa punching Toyama in the cafe. In the cafe specifically. So to me, that has to be the canonical one, is what I'm thinking. However, like I said, my theory is that maybe I can jump from bad ends and get, clear a keep out that way. And if possible, that would be pretty interesting. So, how about there? Yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, start by heading north from Shibuya Station. After a while, you'll hit a 3-way intersection. Turn left from there, and then about 100 meters after that, take a right. Along the way, there'll be a side street that branches off at a diagonal. Go down and take a right at the second intersection, and then head around. Oh my god. Head right down the stairs there, and it will look like you'll need to go left. There's a slightly curving incline, but go right, and okay! okay. This is getting way too complicated, man. Forget it. I'll pick a place. Okay, the cafe by the station. Right. So we're back here again. He quickly described the location. Okay, Cafe Le Trek. Got it. I'll see you there. He hung up and Minorikawa quickly gathered his belongings. I can't skip through this. Oh, now I can. Let's get to... Yeah, let's get to here. I'm not sure though, because the storytelling is all linear and you're just trying to find the single correct path. Right. If it's a bad end, it's not canonical path, so jumping from there shouldn't connect to the main story. Yeah, it wouldn't. And all of that is true. But I was just thinking like maybe somehow, I don't know. It would be a use of game mechanics to like get you like, oh, you're required to see the bad ends. You're required to see whatever we wrote up. I don't know. It's possible. Just give us 3 more days. Just give us until 8 o'clock. Just give us 3 more days. Try to find it in your heart to wait 3 more days. That's not happening. Katayama didn't so much as bat an eyelash. You have 10 minutes and 46 seconds left. You son of a bitch. Don't get all high and mighty, just because you work for the printer. High and mighty. I'd say it's the people on the publishing side of things that act high and mighty. Whatever high-minded claims you make, without us, you'll have to put, okay? I feel like I've read this before. It's 10 minutes and whatever seconds. If you back down now... Huh, okay. That's just common decency. Yeah, I've been on this path before. Okay, if we have a save... Water. Okay. Tanaka, Endo. Maybe I have to make the jump from Endo then. A guess of his own. Endo. Oh my god, I did it! Yay! I found a jump. Alright, Achi, you're free. The workroom door slowly eased open. There she is! Achi was too shocked for words. The girl who entered looked just like Hitomi. I had a dream. It was a little while ago. I had a dream about Shibuya Scramble in which I was there for some reason, and like Hitomi and like all the characters were there, I think, except for maybe Osawa. And like Hitomi and Maria were meeting. And what happened? I think what happened was that Hitomi was like, "Hey, you need to come with us," and Maria was like, "Nah, I don't feel like it." It was like, I really feel like it. And they got into a huge argument between sisters, and I was just there like, oh my gosh. I was like, what is happening? A girl who entered, the girl who entered looked just like Hitomi. Maria! Hitomi. This is awkward. I gave them the exact same voice. Oh well. Achi blinked in bewilderment. It was almost as if Hitomi were standing in front of a mirror. The two girls looked so similar. Maria! Thank goodness you're all right. I'm so sorry I had you worried. Maria was safe, Achi realized. At last, he had managed to fulfill his duty. How did you manage to get out of the storeroom? Oh, you. How did you manage to get out of the storeroom? Daisuke had gone pale. Tell me, Maria said sharply. Who is it that came up with this kidnapping plan? Ah, dang it. Suddenly, Daisuke shoved Maria aside and lunged for Hitomi. Stanley moved to stop him, but before he could intervene, the older man had a hold on Hitomi, pressing something that looked like a flashlight up against her neck. Dad? Achi started toward him, but Stanley held a hand. Don't move. That's a stun gun. A piece of self-defense equipment for repelling would-be attackers with an electrical shock. There are several types, including baton-type stun prods and guns that fire needles attached with flexible wires. The latter type is especially frequently referred to in the US as a taser or taser gun due to the popular models produced by Taser International, now Axon. Okay, well today I learned stun guns are used not only by civilians, but also law enforcement and military personnel for non-lethal applications. If he zapped her in the neck, it could kill her. You know your stuff, Daisuke said. You deal in American electronics? No, I do this for a living. Stanley drew his gun in an instant, taking aim at Daisuke's forehead. Oh, wait, hold on. Achi was too shocked to even move, interposed himself between Stanley and his father. I think we should maybe help a little bit. Wait, hold on. Achi interposed himself between Stanley and his father. Dad, let Hitomi go. You need to stop this nonsense. Achi walked slowly towards his father, a pleading look in his eyes. Nonsense? Which one of us is talking nonsense here? You don't know what's going on. If you knew... I don't even know who's talking right now. If you knew everything, then you'd be helping me. What do you mean, everything? With this girl's heart, we could save Suzune. I didn't know that Taser was the name of the company. At least in the past it was. But they decided to get more creative with it. It was like, maybe we should, I don't know, change it. Instead of being the Taser company, maybe we can change it. I guess it's like how people associate Velcro with that name, even though that's the name of the company and not the product. Oh! Okay, well, I didn't know that. My bad. Velcro is the name of the company and not the actual product. Huh. It's funny. This was like a while ago, but I was looking into boxing gloves because I was like, maybe I want to get back into boxing. Maybe I want to go back to a boxing gym. And so I was looking at like laces versus like Velcro, like gloves and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay. So we just call it Velcro, even though that's not the name of the product, so to speak. Dang. Okay. Yeah, fun fact, the military calls it hook and loop. Yeah, they also call it hook and loop gloves sometimes. So they're legally not allowed to call it Velcro because they don't buy it from that company. Oh, so you have to buy it from the company in order to use the name. Huh. I feel like there's a lot more companies getting away with that than should be allowed. They're just like, yeah, whatever. But I see. That's how that works. Huh. That's a day I learned. With this girl's heart, we can save Suzune. Dad, who is it exactly that told you that? Daisuke did not reply. I asked you a question. Who was it that put this crazy idea into your head? A foreign organ trafficker I met at the hospital, Daisuke muttered. In Japan, a medical professional known as a transplant coordinator handles the liaison between the donor and recipient parties. Blah, 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 blah. But there are many cases of illegal or borderline illegal activity carried out by third-party organ brokers. There are countries where organ transplants are openly performed for monetary gain, and no shortage of specialists willing to do the job. These questionable markets include suppliers who source viable organs and tissues for transplant from cadavers. Cadavers. Whatever. Yeah, it's a matter of copyright. The owner of the trademark doesn't have to seek action. But in some cases, suing actually hurts them more. And in some cases, suing actually hurts more than helps them. I see. Okay, so that's why more people get away with it than allowed. Because, like, anyone can make a small business or a website, right? And just throw things on there. And it's like, if I use the Velcro and then they went after me, they'd be like, dang, you didn't have to do that. So Stanley let out a snort. A likely story. Alright, so, you gonna say anything? I don't know why, but Jack Stanley looks so different from behind. From behind, and his hair and stuff like that. It looks so different. It's true. I was suspicious at first myself, Daisuke said stubbornly. But I couldn't just sit around and wait for Suzune to die. And after talking to him about her rare blood type and all the difficulties in performing a transplant, he promised he'd do everything in his power. The hair looks off. Yeah, it's like, this doesn't look like him, but I don't know. Maybe he's just one of those guys. He's just one of those guys. Daisuke's hands were trembling. Tears welled up in his vacant and bloodshot eyes. Then, a while later, he got back in touch and told me he'd found a potential match. Someone with the same blood type as Suzune, and roughly the same age. But then he told me that the girl was still alive. So what was the point? Her heart might be a match for Suzune's, but it didn't matter if we couldn't get our hands on it. And I said that. But then the man told me... He told you what? Achi bit his lip. He told me to abduct her and turn her over to him. After that, he'd find a way to make it all work. At last, Daisuke had confessed. Now Achi was trying to come to grips with the truth he had just heard. I had to do something, his father continued vehemently. I had to abduct this girl and see things through. Dang, this is It's like, I get it. It's the trauma of losing his wife, and then, like, he could potentially lose his daughter now, and, like, all that would kind of suck. But it is very much like, you're putting so much on the line for something that has a 0.1% chance of working. Kotone had already been taken from me. The thought of losing Suzune, too. I had to make sure I didn't fail. So it was this organ trafficker who came up with the kidnapping scheme then, Stanley said. He kept his gun aimed at his target. Daisuke nodded. Describe him for me. It was tall, had black hair, spoke fluent Japanese. Stanley raised an eyebrow at that. Achi wondered if he might have some idea who it might be. Perhaps that guy who's with Minorikawa right now? He died in one ending? Hold on. He died? Like a random woman just pulled out a cleaver and was like, you have to die now. And he's like, oh my gosh. If that's the case... Wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. He said a foreigner, right? I don't know. I don't know. But he looks half Japanese to me. But I mean... I don't know. The immediate emotional response is never logical, sadly. Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes. That is how it goes. And taking Maria Osawa hostage in order to lure out Hitomi. Oh, and taking Maria Osawa hostage in order to lure out Hitomi. That was his idea as well. Yes. Yes, that's right. I allowed his computer to access my surveillance camera system as well. But then, this morning, I got a call from the hospital saying Suzune's condition was critical. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to help my girl right away. And then... It's only feeling hella awkward right now. It's just like, dang, okay, well, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Maybe just lighten it a little. Just a little bit, just a tad. Daisuke cut himself off, reaffirming his grip on his stun gun. I was looking at the surveillance monitor and saw a detective I happen to know. He was right next to this girl here. And so I decided to ask him. Okay, so that was at the very beginning of the game. And that's how Tatano got involved with all this. I knew if I did, he wouldn't refuse. He could never refuse a request from me. Well, that's kind of shitty of you. It's like he's dealing with arguably a lot of guilt surrounding the whole thing. And that was the man with the cane, Achi asked. His voice was low and hoarse. Yes, I was giving him directions while I followed you on the monitors. All right, Kano, you gonna jump out here and be like, freeze, this is the police. Dad, you need to let go of Hitomi now. There's no point to this. Achi took another step closer to his father. There is a point. If I kill this girl here and now, your sister can get the surgery she needs. But even Achi knew that things couldn't possibly work out that way. His father had grown so desperate to help Suzune that he lost all sense of judgment. Why, Achi? Why won't you help me? Don't you want to save Suzune? Daisuke made a pathetic sight. And yet his desperation to save his child was so palpable, it was heartrending. Achi thought back to that time he laid his father out when sparring. Oh, that explains why he never shot at Achi. Oh, yeah, and that also explains why he knew Achi's name, then. Okay. Yeah, because Achi was, like, so hung up about that. I was like, how do you know my name? Have we met before? Okay, that's why. No matter how pathetic he may have looked, Achi had always felt that sense of paternal love from him. You're not going to be able to talk him down, Stanley murmured. Achi shook his head. Stanley, he said, lower your gun. Tears were welling up in his eyes. Please, lower your gun. Hearing the determination in Achi's voice, Stanley quietly complied. Achi stepped up to Daisuke, getting a firm grip on his father's slender shoulder. Dad, of course I want to help Suzune. Then why are you trying to stop me? Dad, do you think this is what she'd want you to do? Daisuke's face fell. Did Suzune ask for this, Dad? Did she tell you to take someone else's heart so she could live longer? Did she, Dad? Suddenly, the fight seemed to ebb from Daisuke's body. The stun gun hung limply in his hand. If Suzune asked me to go and get someone's heart for her, I wouldn't object. I'd help her, just like she wanted. I wouldn't let you bear these crimes by yourself. But that's not what this is it? Suzune would never ask you to do something like this, would she? By now, tears were streaming down Achi's cheeks. He knew that his father thought about Suzune more than he thought about anyone else. And so, he should know full well that she would never want this. Suzune's not like me. She's smart, she's kind, and she'd never be happy about taking someone else's heart. Even if it saved her life, I'm sure she'd never accept that. She wouldn't be able to live with it, knowing something so horrible had happened to someone else for her sake. Isn't that the Suzune we know? Daisuke's cheeks were smeared with tears now as well. But then, we're not going to be able to help her. The sound of father and son weeping echoed through the workroom. Maybe so. Maybe we won't. But that's better than the misery and suffering she'd have to live with. Daisuke slumped to his knees on the floor, collapsing like a crumpling mound of sand. Hitomi, freed from his grip, stood motionless. There were tears in her eyes, too. I'm just saying, it's gonna be hella awkward if, like, if at the end of this story, Achi and Hitomi get together and, like, Achi's father eventually gets out of prison, maybe, possibly, and is like, oh, well, my father-in-law, tried to kill me one time, but that's okay. You're such an idiot, Dad. Such a complete, utter idiot. Sobbing, Achi embraced his father. And then I gotta keep out, I think. Yeah? No? No? I'm a liar. Okay. There was a sudden thud from near the door. Everyone turned to look. What the hell? Oh. 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 That's a... Dang. This is a pretty awkward time to do this, Maria. God. I do wonder, though, if Suzune asked for this and Achi asked her for it. And Achi asked her for it. Would Hitomi give them her heart? Huh. That's an interesting point. I think it depends on where in the story. I think it depends on where in the story Achi would learn that and where in the story Achi would ask. But I think there's a possibility that yes. Because there was a whole point where Hitomi was really down in the dumps and being like, yeah, my sister's the best and I'm just so awful at everything. And I think it's possible. Yeah, there's always the possibility. Wait, why did Maria even come here? And how did she know where to go? That's what I'm asking too. How did she know? She was just like, yeah, I know. I know now. Waha! And then she ran away. Okay, whatever. Maria had crumpled to the floor. And a newcomer had appeared. The other protagonist. I mean, Kanan's not a protagonist, but the other protagonist. Woohoo! At some point, Kanan had silently entered the room, and she now cradled Maria in her arms. Standing in the doorway was a man Achi didn't recognize. His face pale. He's like, damn, what the hell is this? We gotta keep out for him, right? Yeah, so now's the time to make that jump. Do I want to just follow the flow here? Yeah, you know what? Alright. After the young man's desperate pleading, the other fellow, apparently his father, finally gave in. He released his hold on Hitomi. The tension in the room was replaced by a solemn air of gravitas. Seeing father and son weeping as they spoke made Kano think back to his conversation with Tatano before the stakeout. What was it in people that drove them to do such horrible things? Sometimes it was the desire to save the ones they loved. Even such a heartfelt human emotion could drive someone to wrongdoing. Why? Why did people have to be like that? Also, we still don't know anything about Kano's girlfriend. I keep forgetting about her, but she's super sus because she's never showed her face. I don't think she's Alphard. That would be really funny if that were the case, but I don't think she's Alphard. I just think that she, I don't know. I don't know why we don't show her face. A sudden thud snapped Kano out of his musing. An instant later, Kanan hurried past him into the workroom. I'm freaking dead. Maria had collapsed onto the floor, and now Kanan was beside her. In a panic, Kano rushed into the workroom as well. Stay back, Kanan shouted as the others tried to huddle around the fallen girl. Please don't be what I think this is. Had the virus gone symptomatic? If so, we're all about to demon die today. Like, we are really in danger. 2 hours ago, Stanley had told Kano that Maria was infected. He'd also said that her symptoms wouldn't develop for another 4 hours. Shouldn't they still have 2 more hours to go? She looked like she was dead, her eyes closed, her body motionless. Hitomi tried to approach despite Kanan's warning. Maria! She cried. Maria, what's wrong? Kano held his arms wide to hold her back. Your sister has been infected with the Ua virus. The Ua virus? Hitomi's face went pale. Hey, Kano said to Kanan. Should you really be that close? If she's developed symptoms. But Kanan didn't move from Maria's side. She calmly rested her hand on the other girl's forehead. There's no fever, she said, and there's no blood coming from her ears, no lymph swelling. I'll be all right. She hasn't gone symptomatic yet. In that case, why did she collapse? Hitomi asked. I'm not sure yet. Whatever's the case, if we don't get her that antiviral, she's done for. Well, Hitomi, you have the antiviral, right? So that's good. We just have to somehow get in touch with Minorikawa, because Minorikawa now knows what to do. And then he can get in touch with Osawa, because Osawa now knows what to do. Okay, so I think that's how Minorikawa plays into this whole story. In a very roundabout, indirect way. That's his importance to the story, I think. Also, he might seemingly have a connection here with Alphard right now. So, okay. Then we have to get her to the lab right away, Hitomi said. She was trembling with anxiety. No, that's not an option. No, that's not an option. Kano's tone was grave. You may already be aware, Miss Osawa, but without a password, we can't access the antiviral storage. But when I was there, my father and Mr. Tanaka... Mamoru Tanaka is dead. Murdered. What? She stared at him uncomprehendingly. No, that can't be true. He was a member of a crime syndicate. It's possible they killed him in order to silence him. So then, there's no way to save my sister. There was a hollow look in Hitomi's eyes. No, I won't accept that. Why? Why can't we help her? But no one had an answer. Kano gritted his teeth and hung his head. Why did it have to come to this? He'd come this far, but there was nothing he could do, and he hated himself for it. Huh. I'll go to the laboratory. I'll go. It was me. I'm Kanan. Oops. Okay, well, Kanan is more badass than Kano. Oopsie daisy. It was Kanan. Electronic lock breaking is my specialty. Wait, what? Wait. Wait. The young man, Achi, spoke up suddenly. So you're a martial art badass, but your specialty is lock breaking? He was positively dumbstruck. Kanan ignored him, thinking out loud. Brute force. Side channel. Shortcut. All of these have different things to highlight. A cryptanalysis technique that involves test input of all theoretical possible patterns. I think that was what was kind of used in Neocab, right? And that one, how we got to the ending there. If time were unlimited, this would be the most reliable means of decipherment, or if you had multiple timelines to do so. However, in practice, the process takes massive amounts of time and computational power, and can be defeated by systems that prohibit access after a limited number of failed input attempts. Alright, side channel. Rather than trying to decipher the password itself, this method involves analyzing information from the device, such as processing time, power, consumption, and electromagnetic leaks, and using these details to exploit the system. Okay, I guess that one lady kind of did that in Neocab. Isolating the run state of devices is a crucial element of countering side channel attacks. Yeah, brute force is the most well-known technique, but also is the weakest method. Right, yeah, exactly. Shortcut. A cryptanalysis method that uses mathematical algorithms to carry out efficient bulk calculations against a block cipher to, oh my gosh, that makes use of a shared key for encryption and decryption. Even when calculations are theoretically possible, however, in practice the process requires large amounts of time, and the block cipher is seldom at real risk. Wow, I love being in cybersecurity class. I love that. Given the situation, I think I have to go with side channel. Yeah, yeah. Side channel? Stanley, oh, side channel, that was me. Shit. Side channel, Stanley asked. Where's your equipment? One of the lab's PCs will suffice. I can connect to a special server from the net. I don't really understand the stuff you're talking about. Achi said, you have to read the little notes that they include. But I'll trust you to handle this. I mean, you did risk your life to save Hitomi from that minivan explosion and all. Kana nodded. I have to warn you in advance, though. Cryptanalysis can take hours and still yield no results. I can't guarantee I'll be able to get the doors unlocked before Maria develops symptoms. I understand, Hitomi said. Achi nodded too. No one present had any objections. All of a sudden, there was a curious sound from somewhere in the room. What the hell? What's that? Kano asked. What's making that noise? He looked around the workroom. Is there a bomb in here? Or is that just Alphard reaching in, being like, hello? Hello? That's my computer. Daisuke hurried to his desktop. The bank of monitors, which had been displaying surveillance camera footage from around Shibuya, had all gone black. Uh-oh. What the hell? What's going on, Dad? Achi joined his father, staring at the computer screens. It's all gone. The camera footage, it has been deleted. Daisuke blinked in disbelief. And now then, it seems our main cast has all been assembled. Hey, what about me? Says Minorikawa. Hey, I'm not there. Hey, shut up. Shut up, you. A man's voice, distorted by a voice modulator, suddenly emerged from the computer speakers. Oh, shit. Okay, a moment later, all monitors began to display a view of the inside of the workroom. Dad, what the hell is this? Someone's broken through our firewall. A security system preventing unauthorized intrusion from a computer network. The term stems from a metaphorical reapplication of the concept of a wall meant to inhibit the spread of fire or other destructive forces. They've hijacked the surveillance camera system. The color drained from Daisuke's face as he looked at the screens. Where are you filming us from? Kano asked, scanning the inside of the room. He used the image on the monitors to guess where the camera might be located. Over here? The lens of the camera set atop the computer monitor glimmered like an eye. It was a miniature camera used for web conferencing and the like. Okay, Again, I wish I had like a voice modulator function thing. So I could like do I keep forgetting to like look into that. So I can do like a zero voice. Now that Maria and Hitomi are both there, you'll probably have surmised the situation at hand. This is the best I can do. It kind of sucks, but whatever. And so, I offer a proposal. The laboratory password in exchange for Hitomi's blood. Realizing that it was Alphard's voice that they were hearing, everyone in the room froze. At 7 o'clock, roughly 1 hour from now. Okay. See that Hitomi Osawa is waiting at the Scramble intersection outside Shibuya Station, just like this morning. Okay, the best I can do, right, is put like my 2 hands over my mouth to kind of do this effect thing, but in exchange for doing that, I have to stop doing that and then go over to my controller and hit the next button. There's gotta be a free app for that somewhere. Yeah, definitely. I just have not looked into it. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and then I just don't. I just don't. Unless, of course, you're feeling particularly confident. You do have Kanan with you. Perhaps you'd care to take a gamble on her lock-breaking skills instead. Kanan clucked his tongue in frustration. You know, hold on. Oh, actually, we haven't continued with Minorikawa. I was about to be like, if we still had the bad end here, I was gonna be like, oh, then it's possible that, like, like Alphard, quote unquote, should be dead right now. So that shouldn't be possible. But no, it's still possible, I guess, maybe. Alphard had known exactly what the plan was. Oh, wait, hold on, let me get my voice modulator. Of course, if Kanan isn't able to get the door open in time, what will you do then? Maria is sure to die, yes. But that's not all. If you don't... Sorry, this is like ridiculous. There's such a noticeable pause between each line. But if you don't agree to my offer, then I have means of creating another Maria and a third. These infectees will spread the virus through Tokyo. The death toll will likely rise in the hundreds of thousands. It is difficult to predict the scope of infection in an event of a bioterrorist attack employing a highly infectious viral agent in a city with a large and mobile population. In the worst-case scenario, some researchers estimate as many as several million infected in a matter of days. So do think carefully before you decide. Alphard's voice was chillingly matter-of-fact. I will appear at the rendezvous in person. After all, it wouldn't do for the star of the show to miss the final curtain. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you then. Silence fell. Oh, okay. Well, as long as you're gonna be there, sure. Then the images on the computer monitor. So that's... I see. So in the same way that, like... How do I describe it? In the same way that, Alphard is, like, his plan is perfectly imperfect or something like that. And, like, there's all these variables that he, like, kind of accounts for, but doesn't really account for at the same time. In some ways, Minorikawa is that final variable that is, like, the uncontrolled thing that he didn't anticipate for. Is Minorikawa being in touch with Osawa somehow. Okay. But he still knows that Minorikawa exists, I think. The surveillance camera footage came back online as well. Daisuke promptly yanked out his Ethernet cable and slammed his fist on the keyboard. Damn it. There was a hole in the firewall. I'll have to redo my security from the ground up. Good call, Kanan said calmly. We can't win this if our intel keeps getting leaked. Stanley pursed his lips in consternation. What do we do? Kano asked him. Do we give in to his demands? I mean, do we really expect that he's just going to blithely show up like that? He's practically begging for us to come and catch him. There had to be some deeper plan at work. If it means saving my sister, I'll do it. Hitomi was resolute. No, Stanley said. You can't. What? Why not? Because if you do, you'll be killed. What? Hitomi's voice caught in her throat. With the antiviral still present in your body a week after the fact, you're too much of a liability for Alphard to just let go. Does she even know that she has the antiviral in addition to Bombay blood? She knows that she has Bombay blood, but... Okay, so she does know. Right. We were with Stanley before in the previous timeline, so she would know about that. Okay. It's right. Don't do it, Achi exclaimed. Hitomi, you can't go. Even still, I want to do it. Hitomi stared defiantly at Stanley. You still want to go, even knowing you'll be killed. I can't just sit here and hope that Kanan is able to pull this off, she said. I want to do something for my sister. I want to save her. She peered down at Maria, sprawled on the floor. She'd object to me going, I'm sure of that. But I want to do what I can. To do things my way. Isn't this the exact same thing, necessarily? In another way, it's still kind of the same thing as, what Daisuke ended up doing for Suzune. Is like, if she doesn't ask you directly, don't do it. Just don't do it. No one tried to contradict her this time. If she's willing to take the risk... there are things the rest of you can do too. Oh, it was me, Havoc. Okay. It was Kanan again. Let's hear it, Kana replied. He squared his shoulders. He was of the same mind as Hitomi. He couldn't just do nothing and leave it all on Kanan. After everything he'd been through, he wanted to stick with this case until the very end. Apprehend Alphard at the rendezvous and demand the password from him. Kanan offered the suggestion as if it were a simple task. That lets you get what you want without putting Hitomi in danger. Kano let out a sigh. Hold on, he said. Even if we do arrest him, how are we going to get him to cough up the password? We don't have time to drag him off into an interrogation room. And also, that's where you get all of your bad ends, seemingly. So don't do anything. Besides, he doesn't strike me as the sort to offer a confession that easily. There are ways, Kanan said. Well, the difference is that Daisuke was going to kill an innocent third party. Hitomi is only risking her own life. Yeah, exactly. But you're still boiling down, essentially, you're still putting a life on the line to save another person's life. And it's like, I don't think we're learning things from this. So. There are ways, Kana said. I don't know if you noticed today, but I have not I forgot to eat. I forgot to eat today. I was just very, very busy. I will eat after the stream, but I think that is causing me to like reading and having to do all the voices, and also not having eaten today is certainly fun. It is certainly fun. There are ways, Kanan said. That's the wrong voice. There are ways, Kanan said. Once Alphard has made contact with Hitomi, call my cell phone. You have a phone number? Hitomi tilted her head. Food is very important. I know. It's just up until the very last minute, I was doing deliveries. And I was like rushing back home, and I was like, please let me make it in time for stream. So I've been very, very busy today. Hitomi tilted her head. Call you? What happened? Call you? Call you? No. I don't know why, but my controller, it did this as well, like 2 streams ago, I think, but it died. And I don't know why it did that. Okay, let's try this again. Tab into the game? Hold on. Wait a minute. call you. Ah, damn it. Alright, cool. well. Your controller doesn't want to call Kanan. The controller is in too much shock. Alright, try this. I think I can use enter actually on my keyboard instead of clicking with the mouse. So, I have plenty of information Alphard might want to bargain for. I can negotiate with him directly. Kano considered Kanan's proposal. I see. So, we'll try both options. Attempt to hack the password at the lab, and also try negotiating with Alphard. That gives us 2 chances. With that tiny ray of hope, Hitomi's face brightened some. We'll split into 2 groups. One for the lab and one for Shibuya Station. Okay, Kanan said. Huh. Let's exchange phone numbers so we can be in touch when the time comes. Is the phone number going to start with 428, or is like, what do we call ourselves? Go, team 428, Shibuya Scramble. I don't know. I don't know. How is this coming into play? The group quickly shared contact info as suggested. Hitomi and Kanan called one another's phones to be sure. Hitomi's cheerful ringtone felt out of place. Oh, wait. I don't think that's your ringtone, actually. Never mind. But also, somehow soothing. A fragment of normalcy in the midst of crisis. Well, guess we're all set then, Hitomi said, looking down at the LCD screen. Her expression turned apologetic. I'm sorry, Kanan. For having to keep putting things on you. Hey, Kanan replied. Don't worry about it. Okay, now I guess I should call my father. Oh, wait, no, I guess I should call my father. Hitomi called Kenji Osawa. Oopsie daisy. Well, that's kind of awkward. We were having this problem last time as well, where it's like, I don't know if I know the button to press for this one. Well, this is gonna be fun. Hold on. Is my controller back? Nope. No. Often I just have to restart the game, so is it possible? Oh, well, shit. Shit. Click left. Okay, well, you know what? Okay. You know what? We're gonna do this little thing where, oopsie daisy. Oh no, the game. It stops. That's so unfortunate. Hopefully there was a save there somewhat soon. Hold on, let me check something. Okay, it says Steam still recognizes the controller. It's still there. I'm gonna unplug and then plug it back in again. Alright, and now I'm gonna start up the game again and hope for the best. The funny thing is that they were just talking to Alphard through the hidden camera and mic somewhere in this room, and yet they are now having discussions of their secret plan without figuring out that he can hear in on them. Yeah, it's okay. It's not that kind of story. Don't think about it too much. I guess we didn't want to have to go to another set. They were like, this is the set that we have today, and we're just gonna stick with it, okay? Just have the conversation here. All right, jump. All right, now. Okay, I guess I should call my father. Yay, controller works. Hitomi called Kenji Osawa on his cell, asking him to let Maria and Kanan into the lab. All right. So, wait a minute. I thought that Minorikawa was going to be the missing link between those two, but if Hitomi can just call her father, then oh, well, Osawa's going to be like, "Holy shit, you're alive. This is amazing." Tanaka hadn't given Ai his password. Osawa's last chance had gone up in smoke. He let out a long, shaky breath and shut his eyes tight. Was it true? Was there nothing more he could do? And right then, he got a very interesting cell phone, a cell call. Osawa's cell phone rang. When he saw the name on the incoming call, he nearly shouted out loud. It was Hitomi. Hitomi? Are you alright? Please, tell me you're alright. Yeah, I'm fine. But Maria's... Maria? Is Maria there with you? Osawa's heart leaped. Dad, there isn't any time for me to explain everything. So I'll just have to give you the main points. This is so we can save my sister, so just stay calm and listen. Osawa struggled to hold back the 1,000 questions that immediately came boiling into his mind. Interesting, her name is spelled in hiragana and not kanji. I assume it's because that's your daughter. That's your daughter. Or maybe, maybe she has very complicated kanji for her name. But I assume it's just because this is my daughter. I could just say your name is Hitomi. So there's a girl named Kanan who's going to bring Maria to the lab. She's going to try and hack the password in order to get us inside. Wait, hold on. Just what in the world is going on? There are a bunch of people working here to help save Maria. Can you wait for us at the lab, Dad? I'm not sure the electronic lock is something that will be so easy to... We've got another plan in motion, too. And if that goes well, we might be able to learn the password. It was all too much to follow, but Osawa realized he'd have to take Hitomi at her word. So can we not... I'm sorry, I was under the impression that we could, extract the antiviral from Hitomi. Can we not do that? Wait, no, obviously we can. Because otherwise, what would Alphard's plan even be? Wait, we can, but she has to be dead for that to happen. Is that what we're saying? Obviously, she needs to be dead so, Suzune can get the heart, right? And Bombay blood, whatever. But she has to be dead for the antiviral to even be passed through. So, that would likely take too long? The exchanging of getting the antiviral from her blood? Maria is going to die in the next few hours. That's not enough time to synthesize the antiviral from her blood. I see. Okay, that's what you're saying. Alright. Yeah, it's possible, I guess. Yeah, because Alphard's not really on a time limit. He can just kind of do whatever. He has time. But Osawa necessarily doesn't, I guess. It was their only hope of saving Maria. Alright, he said. I'll do as you ask. But you said you're trying 2 approaches. You're not going to be in danger, are you? No, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Okay. Very well. I'm heading to the laboratory now. You can't. Huh? You can't. You can't go. Hello? The moment Osawa hung up, even, and started for the house, I clung to him from behind. If you use the antiviral now, she said, everything will go public. And? There's no way we can keep the virus or the antiviral under wraps at this point. Osawa tried to pull free, but his wife was stronger than he expected. Besides, if Maria infects other people, the whole world's going to find out in a matter of hours. No, we can just quarantine her. If it's handled correctly, we'll still be able to retain secrecy. Ai's voice was as cold as ice. Do you even have any idea what you're saying right now? I do. I know how it sounds. But this is the only thing I can... Her voice trailed off. He could feel the force of her trembling where she held him. Have I really put you into that much of a corner? Osawa slipped from Ai's arms and prostrated himself on the ground in front of her. I'm sorry. I'm truly, truly sorry. Oh, stop this! Get up! If you're really sorry, then don't go to that lab. Huh. Okay. When you think about it, they are not actually extracting the antiviral from her blood. They are just looking to see how they can copy it. Okay. I see. I see. I was kind of wrong about how this story was going to go for a very long time. For all these time blocks, I thought obviously we can just extract the data from Maria's blood, like not her, from Hitomi's blood. What's the worst that can happen? Well, about that. But Osawa remained silent, his forehead pressed to the dirt. If you use that antiviral without corporate approval, your time with Okoshi is finished. That doesn't matter to me anymore. How can you say that? Virology is the only thing you've ever cared about. I began pummeling his back. Maybe virology is all that I care about. I don't know the first thing about anything else. I never wanted to know. Never even thought to find out. Never bothered to learn what you or my own children might think. I'm a failure. As a father and as a husband. How dare you say that only after it's come to this? I struck him again, harder than before. You're right. He gasped out the words between her blows. Maybe this has been too long coming. But it's not too late. I can still start over. Start over? She paused in disbelief. You already turned down that American job. If you use that antiviral now, there won't be any starting over. You'll lose everything. Also, I forgot that friggin' what's his name? Kajiwara. Kajiwara is also a character that exists, so he's gonna come back to the story at some point. I forgot about that. He's still working behind the scenes. Will I lose you, too? After you've gone... Well, hold on. Yeah, you were like, hey, I can't get the password. If you can bring Maria... Well... Hold on. If you can bring Maria to me, that will be the best thing. He said that at 16:40. I guess an hour has passed at this point. Yeah, it can be a little bit too late. So... if you could bring Hitomi to me, even. Why do I keep mixing them up? Alright. I'm gonna take a short break here because there's an eyelash in my eye and I'm dying. I'm gonna take a short break here just to deal with that. Give me 1 second. I will be right back and then we'll continue with this. All right, I am back. I am back. It is very cold in this room. It was still snowing yesterday, even. It's like I don't know why, but for whatever reason, winter just won't stop. It will never stop. Um, but I have not had any dropped frames for this stream, so that's good. Maybe I should stream on Sunday more often. I have to call Xfinity tomorrow. So, huh. Eyelash catastrophe averted. So, seemingly. Maybe not. We'll see about that. Also, it's like taking a bite out of an extravagant dish and trying to figure out what the various ingredients in it to copy the taste. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Yeah, like that then. Okay. But then why did he ask Kajiwara to go get Hitomi? Yeah, Hitomi? Yes, Hitomi. I was right that time. Huh. Okay. After you've gone and thrown everything else away like this, how can I possibly stay with you? I was sobbing softly now. Osawa wondered what her tears were for. But there was one thing he did know. She was right. They couldn't be together anymore. That is true. That is true. We're gonna have to, kind of divorce. He got to his feet and headed back into the house, leaving Ai behind. Damn. That haunting shot and it just doesn't even say anything. That's crazy. Okay. So Osawa is finally gonna leave the house. Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. He hurried through the back entrance and went into the garage. Climbed into his car, fastened his seatbelt, and took a deep breath. An image of a younger Maria arose in the back of his mind. Does he even know how to drive? He looks like a passenger princess. That's true. It's like, we're rich. We're supposed to be seemingly super duper rich. And it's like, he's also like, I've never used a microwave before or a toaster before. Huh. Amazing. There she was at that park, getting drenched by the rain. Holding back her tears as she waited for her father. Wait for me, Maria. This time, I'm going to come for you. I was wrong. Going to the lab wouldn't mean losing everything. He let too many important things slip through his fingers. Now, it was time to go take them back. Not gonna lie, kinda got shivers from that. That was a pretty good callback, I guess, there. That was cool. Osawa pulled his car onto the street and sped toward the laboratory. There's sunset. As if to signal that the long day was drawing to a close, the dazzling sun began to sink down between the buildings in the distance. This one track is so loud. But okay. To be continued? End even. Oh my god. No. No. Of his story. And we're losing protagonists. No. No. Okay. Shit. We're losing protagonists one by one. Okay. I'm guessing then that we're gonna end with Kano and Achi, maybe. Definitely with Kano being the final one, but huh. Yeah, Achi, we're gonna end with Kano and Achi being the final two in the final time block, which makes me think then that we have 2 more time blocks, right? One to sort of finish up Minorikawa, and then possibly, I don't know, maybe, and then we'll have the final 2 for these 2 protagonists. So, that's sad. I love the writing for Osawa. It was so unbelievably good. Dang. Okay, I guess that's it. Again, I still think I like Maria more maybe as a protagonist. not as a protagonist, rather. I just like Maria more as a character. But that's like personal preference. There's, you know, Osawa is like, I think one of the best written characters in the game. Like, these scenes are so good. This was so peak. This whole scene in the flower garden was so good. Dang. All right, well, I guess with that, what were we doing? Oh, right, we have to finish people's stories. Okay, cool. Let's go back to Minorikawa, because technically speaking, we have to go do that. Endo. Toyama furrowed his brow and muttered under his breath. No, that's not quite right. What are these choices? Huh? Tanaka. Do I get a bad end by saying the wrong names? Chiotanda. Chiotanda. Maybe that was it. Just then, the television inside the cafe was like, "Hey, you remember Tanaka?" Yeah, I do. Mamoru Tanaka. In name of... Okay, cool. No, not the summary. Not the summary. Do I have to press down twice for that to happen? 1, 2. No, it didn't work. Shoot. Okay, well, I don't know how that works. The name of Ai's boyfriend. You said Tanaka last time. Yeah, I know. But I was like, does it even matter what names I say at this point? Okay, now I can skip. Does that mean we're all good here? Never mind, we're not. We're not. Just keep going. Here. Okay. Okay. 7 o'clock. They need to finish the copy, and I don't know why, but apparently Katayama is still there with them, just kind of running with them. Like, you know, might be cool. They're still running, being goofy as always. Not Chihiro. Chiaki. Chiaki. I remember your name. Okay, cool. Chiaki is gonna fall here and be like, "Oh my gosh!" So Katayama is gonna stay behind, right? Because Minorikawa says, like, "Hey, you should go stay behind." And with the traffic, there was nothing they could do. You now have exactly 1 hour remaining. Huh. Maybe Katayama is just a regular dude. Maybe he's just a regular guy. Shit. Okay. Shouldn't he be there, like, calling them right now, right? Wait a minute, I'm a liar. When was the call? When was the call? The call is right around here. Kana's proposal. Alfar's demands. It's right here. So he can't be running unless it's a recording. Unless it is a recording, he can't be running right now. Huh. So you're just some random dude? Huh. I don't know. Apparently not, since he said Tanaka was wrong, only to be corrected seconds later. I know. Relentlessly, the clock ticked on. What was Minorikawa to do? To be continued. Okay. Also, just as I said, like, oh, there's been no dropped frames this stream. Wow, everything is so great, so neat. I looked over and there's now been like a few, just very small, but a few dropped frames. So, you know, maybe I should have knocked on wood. Maybe I should have not said anything, and it would have been better. All right, finally, these two. Let's go back to Kano. Okay, now I guess I should call my father, I said for the 3rd time. Kano leaned in to whisper into Kanan's ear. Are you sure you're okay with this? With what? I know you're after Alvard. Are you sure you want to go to the lab and not... Right now, I want to save Maria. That's all. Her tone was as curt and mechanical as always, but there was a fierce gleam of determination in her eyes. Maria was clearly someone special, very special to her. Aw. Alright, Kano replied. Leave Alvard to me. He thumped himself on the chest. He'd succeed this time, no matter what the odds. Kano could scarcely recall the whirlwind of events that had brought him here. What is... Why are you looking like a superhero, my guy? He'd somehow survived a dozen disasters. Even now, a dear friend was in the hospital at risk of dying. There were several times when he'd been ready to give up. And yet, at the end of it all, here he was. His opponent was an international terrorist. No matter how you looked at it, this wasn't a matchup for a mere detective. But I'm going to do it anyway. Rumi, Shizuo, Sasayama, and Detective Tatano. Is he still, like, unconscious on that roof? Did we not say anything? I think we called backup. I think we called backup before we left, at the very least. I'm going to take down Alvard and save Maria Osawa's life. Just you watch and see. To be continued. Alright, cool. This was his origin arc for when he becomes Captain Shibuya. I could see him doing that, to be honest. It's like, we're gonna have a flashback 20 years into the future. We're gonna check in on all the characters. That's gonna be like, yeah, this is my... Now, Kano is gonna be like the hero of some other detective, and he's gonna have like his own diary of all the Kano quotes, basically. Alright, and finally we have Achi. So let's go ahead and continue with his story. Standing in the doorway, his face pale. Stay back! Stay back! Kanan shouted at Achi when he tried to approach. Surely I don't need a recap. I was here. We were all here in this one room. We know what's gonna happen. We can just get it to be continued, I think. It looks like Maria had fallen unconscious. Achi's heart was racing in his chest. An eerie silence fell over the room. For several seconds, no one said a word, their eyes all fixed on Maria. Finally, Kanan looked up, her face ashen. It's starting. I don't remember you saying that. I don't remember. Kano, did you blank out on that one? I don't remember you saying that. To be continued? Yeah, to be continued. Alright, we're down to 3 protagonists. I can't believe Minorikawa has survived this long. But okay. Alright. Da-da-da. Time for a trailer? Yeah? Yeah, okay, cool. Why are you bloodied, my guy? What happened? I'm sorry, Susune. The UA is out now. Mr. Mino, answer me! We meet at last, Alvard. You can go ahead and kill me. 18 to 20. Oh, okay, so 2-hour time block. Oh, Achi has a keep out right off the bat then. Shit, okay. Alright. Well, that is, that's kind of cool. That's neat. I think we really are at the end here then. It's gonna be 1900 hours, Minorikawa is gonna end his story, and then we're just gonna bounce between the two until we finally land on Kano and probably end the game. Kuze's orders? What the hell? Kuze, you don't have any orders, man. You don't understand what's going on. And then we were down to 2.5, I guess. 3, maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Alright. Well, in that case, we still have about, like, 10 more minutes left. So, let's go ahead and start with somebody here. But the question is either Kano or Minorikawa? Let's go with Kano. Kuze's orders. I don't know. I don't know if I can do the Kuze voice right now. Oh well. Oh well. We'll see. Kano's cell phone rang. He saw Kuze's name on the display. Kano speaking. The director's voice was shrill with irritation. I have her in custody, sir. God damn it. What is that? A counter NBC terrorism unit. A public safety mobile investigation unit belonging to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Public Security Bureau. The acronym NBC refers to nuclear, biological, and chemical threats. The unit not only gathers information and investigates terror incidents that make use of these means, but also deploys relief and safety restoration measures. Blah, blah, blah. Sir, the situation... Sir, it seems like your voice is kind of dying a little bit. Sir, the situation's a little complicated at the moment, Kana replied. He and Stanley made eye contact. Kano gave him a knowing nod. He knew what he needed to do here. He briefly informed Kuze of the plan to take Maria to the laboratory, but was careful not to mention Alphard. Interesting. So Maria did have this one photo of Jack Stanley where it said dangerous, where she was, no, it didn't say dangerous, but she was like, she looked at the man and was like, I know this guy is dangerous. I don't know why. She didn't really say anything about that, so we don't know. We don't know why she thought that he was dangerous. It's not like he's working for Achi's dad or Alphard or whoever. But I mean, also, Kanan is seemingly like, we're gonna work together here, we're not gonna question it. But the game is almost done. We still haven't really understood all of, like, entirely, necessarily, maybe all of his intentions. I don't know. Maybe it will become clearer as the story goes on, so to speak. He briefly informed Kuze of the plan to take Maria to the laboratory, but was careful not to mention Alphard. Please, sir, Kano said, bowing reflexively to the phone. Let me handle this. Kuze exclaimed, okay, well, screw you. I'm gonna do it anyway. There's no way you're gonna love it. Maria's scientists are going to quit it right now. The act of placing infectees in isolation, such as in a medical treatment facility, in order to prevent the spread of infection, for viruses capable of airborne transmission, an airborne infection isolation room, AIR, is sometimes used, which employs negative air pressure to ensure that the air from within the room does not leak outside. Sir, please, just give us a little more time. Like 2 hours. 2 hours tops, please. Giving her the antiviral is the only way we can save her. Oh, giving her the... I was still talking. Sorry. If we could put her in quarantine, it'll be a death sentence. Blah, blah, blah. Kuze let out a growl of frustration. Kano had run out of arguments because, I mean, Kuze wasn't saying words anymore. It was clear. I guess, I don't know, hunger is probably getting to the voice. Like, I can't do it as much today. It was clear that Kuze's only concern was stopping the spread of the virus. Director Kuze, are you just going to let Maria Osawa die? I know that, sir. That's why I'm asking you to please let me go to that laboratory. And if it looks like we're not going to be able to hack the password, then at that point, a quarantine can... Kuze snapped. And I'm not accepting that order. Yeah! Kuze said. What do you mean by that, sir? Kuze didn't reply. Okay. Is this an order from up top? What's going on here, sir? Please, I need some kind of explanation. Kuze said. No, you sound like a child. Call me a child if you want, but I'm not going to follow an order that I know isn't right. Kano punched the end call button with his thumb. Yeah! Cool! Neat. Awesome. From an objective standpoint, maybe Kuze was right. They need to think about more than just Maria. If the UA virus spread through Shibuya, it would be a nightmare of epic proportions. Kano understood that perfectly, but still. He looked down at Maria's face as she lay collapsed on the floor. This girl was still alive. Kano couldn't stand idly by and let a living, breathing person die. Consequences be damned. He wasn't going to be the one to weigh the worth of someone's life. As he stood, still clutching his cell phone, Stanley gently set a hand on his shoulder. You did fine, he said quietly. See, like, we're looking at him from the side here, and it looks like him, but when we were looking at him from the back, it looked kind of different for some reason. I don't know. Alphard is in possession of the UA virus. The people of Shibuya are already in danger. He may have already released the virus in the city. If he hasn't, he may do so at any time. Right now, what we need to do is get that antiviral and arrest Alphard. You made the right choice here. Thanks, Stanley. Okay, I guess... So Daisuke has been working on the firewall this whole time. Okay. Thanks, Stanley. I appreciate hearing that. Stanley gave Kano a slap on the back. He was right. At this point, they need to focus on the things they could still accomplish. So, guys... Achi stepped forward. Who's going to take Hitomi's sister and Kanon to the lab? Maria was in no condition to walk, so they were going to have to take a car, which meant they needed a driver, and Achi can't drive. I only have a motorcycle license, Achi said, and I don't know where the lab is anyhow. Alright. I should go with Maria alone. Oh, you. Kanan. Kanan. I keep forgetting that you're there and can say words. Whoops. Right. So you're gonna risk your life, essentially, to be with Maria. Which is very cute. Kanan looked over at the others. There's no way of knowing for sure when she might become contagious. We shouldn't needlessly risk exposing more people to infection. She knelt down to gather Maria in her arms. Who the hell is that? In that case, I should drive. Kano whirled around at the sound of a new voice behind him. Oh. Hey, Tatsuno. Yo, what's going on? Tatsuno was standing in the doorway. Okay, I guess we didn't call any reinforcements, or he just got away. Okay. You. Achi's face went red with rage. Okay, this is how we get the little jump here. I guess let's go ahead and do that. Yep. Oh, was I not blocked off? What just happened there? What just happened? You. Okay, we're supposed to play it in this order. Achi snarled. Alright, well, with that being said, I think now is probably a good time to end things here. A little bit of a kind of a right on the dot stream, but I think now is probably best. Just because I don't like saving in the middle of someone's story. Jumps are usually good points to end things if I can help it. And I don't know if there's gonna be another jump. I assume there's one between Kano and Minorikawa somehow, maybe. So, it might have been a body double. Maybe the actor wasn't available for filming that day. Oh, yeah, for I forget his name now. Stanley. Jack Stanley. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. It's just so weird. They're like, I don't know. Nobody will notice. Put on the squig. You'll be fine. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I think we're all set for today. Let me go ahead and look for somebody to raid. And also, while I'm doing that, I guess I'll again put up the sort of all the emotes that I commissioned that I got back recently. I think that they turned out really, really good, so I'm really happy with them. Also, there is one, in terms of commissions, I commissioned like a bunch of things at once, so I've gotten all of them back at this point, except for one. There's one more thing that's in the works. It's kind of Juno related, Juno adjacent, so I'm really excited for how that one's gonna turn out. I think it will be pretty cool and neat for when it's done. So, yeah, let's go look for somebody to raid. There's quite a normal amount of people online. Let's raid. Juicy is online, so let's go raid Juicy. I'm, like, to be so honest with you, I'm going to immediately run and get some food, so I'm probably not even going to be saying anything, maybe, in chat. But I will be back, and I'll be lurking in the stream. But let's go say hi to Juicy. She's currently doing fan art. She draws every Sunday, if you don't know, because she's super awesome and talented like that. So let's go and say hi and support her. Let me go over to ending screen. Yippee! Okay, cool. Well, if you are here, thank you so much for hanging out for a little bit. I really appreciate it. I will be back, I don't know. I don't know when I'll be back. I assume tomorrow? I assume tomorrow. And I'll probably be back with some more Never 7 then, and probably with Shibuya on Tuesday. But wait for the stream schedule. I will post it, and I'll update it here on Twitch as well, so that everything is all set. But thank you so much. Thank you again for all your patience with me this week as I had to move things around. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.